The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy is looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. What's going on, everybody? This is the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. This Thursday, July 10th, which means it is my youngest son, Jinder's birthday. Happy birthday to Jinder. We're going to have a full day of stuff planned out for today, for his birthday, to celebrate all the amazing things. Turning 8 years old. And all that means to me is that I feel like I'm getting old. It's one of those nostalgic moments where, like, you have a kid's birthday. Like, my oldest son, Jericho, is 12. He'll be 13 in August, but he's already taller than his mom. And it's one of those things where it's like, man, I remember whenever you were so little and so tiny. Our guy B. Strilla tuning in saying, good morning, Tip. Good morning to you, Strilla. Hope that you are having yourself a fantastic day. Like I said, my youngest is turning 8 today, and it's making me feel old, nostalgic, wishing for time to slow down. All of those things. I know most people out there, especially around my age, have children older than my kids because I waited a little longer than most. But man, it's one of those things. So happy birthday to my little guy. Can't wait for them to wake up. They're in the other room right now, so probably wake up to me yelling about sports and things that are going on in the world of sports. Got a full day of stuff planned out, and I can't wait to get all that stuff done. Now, in the world of sports, the Phoenix Suns signed superstar Devin Booker to a 2-year, $145 million maximum contract extension with the franchise through 2029-2030 season, the highest annual extension in salary or extension salary in NBA history. CAA's Jessica Holtz and Melvin Booker told ESPN on Wednesday. Good morning, Tip. Happy birthday to your son. Thank you so much, Tommy. Hope that you're having yourself a fantastic day here so far. Bistro saying, LOL, I'd say happy birthday, little Tip, but, I mean, man, maybe I set them up for like a career or a life of terrible, terrible nicknames. Because if someone calls them Little Tip, like it'll sound like a cool rapper name from the early 2000s. Remember, there's like Lil Rob, Lil Wayne, Lil Everybody, Lil Uzi Vert, like all these Lils. Maybe Lil Tip could be like Jinder's hip hop name, his rap name. That would be a terrible rap name. Lil TIP. But Devin Booker, the Suns owner, Matt Ishbia, met Wednesday night in Las Vegas to finalize the contract, which cements the franchise's leader of the organization moving forward and his commitment to the Suns' vision for the future. Booker's annual salary extension is $72.5 million, surpassing Oklahoma City Thunder's NBA MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's $285 million Supermax extension, carrying a $71.25 million AAV. Bistro saying, I don't know if you'd want to be called Lil Tip, though. LOL. I mean, maybe, right? Like, we'll have to put it out there to the people. I don't think Lil Tip does sound like a bad name. I hope that my kids are never referred to as Lil Tip. But if someone else wants to take that name and be a rapper and stuff like that, I think that'd be fine. Maybe I can do it. I'm only 5'10". I'm a little guy, so to speak. There we go. Adjusting lights. Maybe I should be called Lil Tip, the rapper Lil Tip. Has anyone ever thought like what their hip hop name would be? Like if you were a rapper, what your rap name would be? I know there used to be like those little things on like Instagram and stuff like that, where you would be able to, or not Instagram, like Facebook, where you put your birthday together and stuff like that in the month, and it winds up being whatever. Those were always terrible though. But is Devin Booker worth more money than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Like, again, I like what the Suns are doing. Bradley Beal more than likely going to get bought out. More than likely going to sign with the LA Clippers if he does get bought out. Bradley Beal is going to make way for some stuff in Phoenix that they can probably work around some contracts and stuff like that. They'll do just what the Milwaukee Bucks did. Buy out the contract, extend it out to however long they can extend it out. So that way they don't have to worry about too much. It's still on the salary cap, but not on the salary cap, if that all makes sense. I like what Phoenix is doing. They're building around one guy. They tried to go all in. Remember, they made it to an NBA championship, I want to say what? 3 years ago? It was the Bucks versus them. So yeah, 3 years ago. 4 years ago, geez. And they put this team together, and they wanted to try to win a championship at that moment. And I could understand in that moment wanting to put that team together. But it felt like whenever you got Kevin Durant, whenever you got Bradley Beal, whenever you had Devin Booker, you just weren't doing what you needed to do, right? Like you hear those names on a team, those three names on a team: Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and you automatically think that should be a playoff contender, and they weren't. Like they were just a bad team all around. Sure, you make it to the play-in or whatever, but that doesn't count as being a playoff contender. You keep D-Book until 2030, so now he's got another 5 years with the team. And you build around the young guys. And by the time 2030 comes, Devin Booker will be 33 years old. So you're building, you're doing all the stuff that you need to do. If you're the Phoenix Suns, you got younger, you got a lot of talent. Again, we went over all the talent they got whenever they made the Kevin Durant trade, which is going to go down to me as one of the dumbest trades that the Houston Rockets could have done. Unless they win a championship, it's going to be a dumb trade for them. And they got to try to make it out of the first round. Like, there's so much that this team needs to do that Kevin Durant just hasn't been able to do in quite some time. Nonetheless, Booker is a 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA selection, 2-time Olympic gold medalist for Team USA, and last season became the Suns' franchise leader in points scored. That is wild. But it makes sense. Like, I was trying to think of like long-term Phoenix Suns players, and I can't think of any long-term Phoenix Suns players. I know Barkley was there for a while. Steve Nash was there for a while, but like they weren't there 10 years. Like Devin Booker's been there for 10 years and further. So it is kind of wild to me that Devin Booker is their all-time franchise leader. But I have to accept it. And it needs to be accepted on my behalf. It's just weird to me. Averaged 25 points in each of the last 7 seasons, joining Giannis Antetokounmpo as the only other NBA player to do so. That is according to ESPN research. He has continued to grow his offensive game, averaging a career-high 7.1 assists last season while scoring 25.6 and grabbing 4.1 rebounds. The assist numbers are going to have to drop for Devin Booker, but I think the points are going to go up because he's got to be the number one option now in Phoenix. Once you got rid of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker became your number one option in Phoenix. Yesterday on the National Professional Sports Show, Bistro did a great job hosting that. We got a little wild talking about NIL and the salary cap that Deion Sanders wants in college football. I'm going to look up the exact quote here because I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah, Amari Stoudemire was there too for a while, but I don't think it was like I got to look at Devin Booker went there right out of college. He only spent 1 year in college, so he's been there 9 to 10 years. I think Amari Stoudemire was there like 6 or 7, but he was also hurt. Steve Nash wasn't like the leading scorer because of Amari Stoudemire being there. Charles Barkley, I gotta see, was it like 1992 that he went there? And then I think it was like 1999 that he went to the Rockets, or 1998 that he went to the Rockets. And he was already old by that time. Going over to this article so that we can read. There we go. But I like the future. I like the future of the Phoenix Suns. I think the Phoenix Suns are going to be okay. They got out of like this, we're going to win a championship now, we're going to build for the future thing. And I think that they're going to be a better team. Like they're undoubtedly going to be a better team. I think they're going to be a playoff contending team. I don't think they're going to win a championship, but at least they're younger and they have the makings of a championship contending type team. They can go through all those steps. They took big steps back following their appearance in the NBA Finals. Deion Sanders said, quote, "I wish there was a cap. The top of the line player makes this, and if you're not that type of guy, you know you're not going to make that. That's what the NFL does. So the problem is you got a guy that's not that darn good, and he can go to another school and they give him $500,000, and you can't compete with that. And it doesn't make sense. All you have to do is look at the playoffs and what these teams spend. And you understand darn near, I love that he says darn, why they're in the playoffs. It's kind of hard to compete with somebody who's giving $25 to $30 million to a freshman class. It's crazy. It's crazy." Tommy Canazza saying, "I bet he wasn't wishing for a cap if he was at Alabama." Not just that, like, why, like college sports needs to just go back to the money being under the table. Like I mentioned this yesterday on the National Professional Sports Show. It's always been that way. Like Dion can sit there and pretend that, oh, college sports has been this beautiful thing that's been uncorrupted up until NIL and all this money came out into the forefront. College athletics has always been whoever's going to pay the most money is going to have the most success. It's always been that way. We know that it's been that way. Whether it's been boosters, whether it's been the stuff that was swept under the rug, we've all known that college sports was that way. The team that spends the most money is going to win the championship. Tommy Canazza saying Dion made money in college. LOL. 100%. 100% he made money in college. It's does there need to be some sort of reeling in of college athletics and the amount of money that's being spent? Sure. But you already opened up the floodgates. And it's so hard to close that up whenever everything's already rushing through. So the NCAA is going to have themselves a major problem of trying to legislate and delegate what's going to happen with money, right? Like we know, you got $20 million that each school can spend. 90% of it's going to go to football and basketball because those are the money generating sports. $20 million. There's your salary cap. If Dion wants to talk about a salary cap, there's your salary cap. But the fact of the matter is that these kids aren't getting paid by the school, right? Like they've never been paid by the school. They've been paid through boosters, under the table stuff, and then all these NIL deals. These kids aren't signing, $1 million contracts with the school. That kid that Texas Tech has that's playing softball didn't sign a contract with the school. She signed $1 million contract with Patrick Mahomes as the NIL guy. So it's not a salary cap that the sport needs. It's controlling NIL money. And this is what everybody out there wanted, myself included. I wanted the players to get paid, like especially the football players. Granted, all the college athletes do something, but football is what makes you money. You're not going to get $1 million payout at a science fair. You might in the long run if they win a Nobel Prize or something like that, but you're not going to get it right off the bat. You can play, if you're a bad team like the University of Texas at El Paso, you can play 6 road games and get $1 million each for those road games. And you've made more money than anything else in the school can make. Football generates revenue. That's why I always felt like those players should get paid something. Even if it's not a whole bunch of stuff. And I know people are going to come back at me and say, Tip, they have scholarships, they got this, they got that, and that's fine. That's whatever. But what they put their body through, knowing that, once again, here is the University of Texas, El Paso. There was a quarterback who wound up having to retire as like a sophomore in college due to concussions and stuff like that. I get it. We got to treat it like a business. Sports is a business. I hope that I'm not pulling back that curtain for people. Even in college, sports is a business. Even in high school, sports can be a business. But the NCAA doesn't need a salary cap. The NCAA needs restrictions on NIL. That's where the kids are getting paid. Even if it's you can spend $20 million in salary and 90% of it has to go to football and basketball, that's less than what a lot of the players are going to be making out of NIL deals. It's NIL that needs to be reeled in. It's NIL that needs to have some sort of restrictions and things like that on it, not just a salary cap in sports, not just a salary cap in football. Maybe you find a way. Maybe we can do some quick math right here. Bonet Candia saying good morning. Good morning to you, Bonet. Hope that you are having a fantastic day so far. It's Thursday. It's Jinder's birthday, so he's going to have himself a good time. We're going to do some quick math here. And it's so quick that I'm not talking while we're doing it. Bonet saying happy birthday, Jinder Bear. Tommy Cananza saying we need to find some boosters at UTEP. We need to find UTEP some boosters. I've always said it, if I ever won the lottery, I got to actually start playing the lottery. But if I ever won the lottery, I would 100% break all the NCAA rules. I would have like a $5 million pot that sits in a bank and give out booster money all the time. That's what I would do. That $5 million would just sit there and we'd give out like, $20,000 NIL deals and make money up as we go. Like it would be an investment. And I've said it a bunch of times. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win. That's what UTEP needs to do. I don't care. I don't care what happens. You win a championship, you got to take the banner down because you broke the rules. Leave that damn banner up. The NCAA doesn't care about rules anymore. If I'm Michigan, I'm hanging up all the stuff the Fab Five did. I'm putting all their stuff back up. You took it down because they took money? Oh, no. They took money in sports. Give Reggie Bush his Heisman back. Like, all those things that happened, all those little things that the NCAA did to try to be like, oh, you guys need to play sports right. All that stuff is dumb. It's legitimately stupid. Every single team is having some level of cheating. Whether it's Alabama, whether it's, any of the teams that win national championships, whether it's manipulating NIL to be able to do what it is that you want to do. I said this back whenever it happened. Texas was struggling at the time. And I said, if you allow those UT boosters to just start having a blank checkbook and signing checks to whoever the hell they want to sign checks to, Texas is going to get good really quick. And look at what's happened. It's going to be the haves and the have-nots, and we know that the future of college football, as I see my dude Ray Ariola 915 tuning in over on Instagram. El Chavo, who tuned in over on Instagram as well. Thank you so much. The NCAA's problem is that the NCAA neutered themselves. You very rarely hear that, but the NCAA neutered themselves. They took their own power away. And we've mentioned this a bunch of times. I'm not gonna harp on it. But whenever you allow the different conferences to do whatever the different conferences want to do, then that means they're the ones running the game. I'm a firm believer that by 2030, what we know is the NCAA is going to dissolve. Like it will be gone. Because I think the conferences can come up with a much better plan than what the NCAA has right now. We'll no longer like we don't have amateurism in sports. The quick math that I was doing was 90% of 20 million is $18 million. Even if you gave up that full $18 million, and you said because they are going to have smaller rosters now in college football. Let's say you have a 53-man roster in college football in D1, and you divide up that that $18 million, and you pay each one of those players evenly. That's $336,622 that you can have as a base salary. Obviously, it's not going to be that way because you have to worry about basketball. So let's say you spend $15 million on football. This is the easy math part. You're spending $15 million on just football. Even if you had 100 people on your roster for football, you can pay them all $150,000 and stay within your budget. Then you use that $3 million on your 15-man roster. Let's see what that comes down to. It's not going to be the same as football. It'll actually be a little more. And those 15 that you have playing basketball for you will get $200,000 each. That's how that salary cap would work. But you would have to get rid of NIL. You'd have to get rid of NIL. And everyone would have to be at the same salary level. And now they're employees of the school. They have to sign a contract with the school. No longer with the boosters, no longer with any of the other stuff. It is simply with the school. You can have boosters there and talk about, hey, we can give you this, we can give you that. As a signing bonus, we'll give you this and that. But your salary is going to be either $100,000, $150,000, or $200,000, depending on your importance to the team. You're the last dude on the roster, you don't need to be making $150,000. You just don't. And the rosters in college football don't need to be 100 players deep. If the NCAA were to get the power back, they would implement this rule, right? Like that's the way that you would do it. That's the way that you would go if you're the NCAA. We want to make sure every team has an even playing field here outside of what the boosters can do. You can have different signing bonuses and stuff like that. That's fine. But each player is going to get this. Tier 1 gets this. Tier 2 gets this. Tier 3 gets this. You outperform, then you can get a little bonus next year. You're a sophomore. You're going to start as a junior. You go from making $50,000 or $75,000 to making $150,000. It's like a step process, right? If you're a senior and you're always at the end of the bench, you stay making your 50 grand, but at least you made something. The NCAA needs to find a way to get this stuff done. I think I just fixed the money problem in college football. The boosters can give whatever they want to give as a signing bonus. As far as NIL goes, you can make whatever the hell you want to make off of NIL. But NIL deals don't need to be the be-all, end-all in getting athletes to go to different places. And if you are going to allow NIL to run roughshod the way that it's been, then you need to find a way to reel in NIL, to make it actual contracts with the school. Because if you're getting a Nike deal, you can do that Nike deal anywhere. You don't have to be in Oregon. You can be anywhere with a Nike deal. It all depends on what the NCAA is going to do as they move forward with this. It's not a salary cap problem that Deion Sanders is talking about. It's an NIL problem. And we all knew this. We all knew it was going to get ugly. We all knew it was going to be bad. We all knew that the NCAA was going to have no way to control NIL whenever they got it going. But it's here now. And honestly, it's just the tip of the problem.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Check out myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton when you check out. Save on all your male grooming needs. We've got you covered from head to toe, from your pits to your tip. Everything is covered. You're smelling good. You're feeling good. No more stanky leg. No more duck butter. You are taken care of with www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all of your male grooming needs. That was a good segue into the Just the Tip plane. Tommy Cananza saying that UTEP needs to find some boosters. Every school can find boosters. Seemingly every school can find boosters. It seems like UTEP can't. Like it genuinely feels like UTEP is the one school that cannot find boosters no matter what. Checking out a couple of these things. Okay. Making sure we're still good on one of the streams because I got an alert on my screen here, but we are good. We are good on one of the streams. I just read an article right now where I was like, what the hell is that about? It says MMA's Askren died 4 times amid transplant bid. I'm going to have to read this now. I don't even know who they're talking about. Former Olympic wrestler and MMA star Ben Askren, who has been hospitalized in Wisconsin after a severe case of pneumonia, said in a post on social media Wednesday that he had undergone a double lung transplant and is in recovery. Jesus Christ. Askren said during the Instagram video that he recalls very little of what happened over a month-long stretch from late May through the first 2 days of July. His wife, Amy, had said in a series of social media posts that Askren was put on a ventilator in June and placed on a donor list for a lung transplant on June 24th. No recollection, zero idea, no idea what happened, he said, of the past 6 weeks. I just read through my wife's journal. It's like a movie. It's ridiculous. I only died 4 times. Where's the ticker? Where the ticker stopped for about 20 seconds. Askren said he lost about 50 pounds during the 45-day stretch. The thing that I most impeccable to me was all the love that I felt. It was almost like I had gone to my own funeral. Jesus, that's crazy. The 40-year-old Askren was born in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, but has lived primarily in Wisconsin and runs a youth wrestling academy. He won back-to-back NCAA titles at Missouri and competed for the 2008 Summer Olympics for the U.S. before moving into MMA, where he fought for Bellator 1 championship and the UFC. Askren retired from the MMA after a loss to Damian Maia in October of 2019 and had a record of 19-2 and with 1 no contest. That is crazy. Old boy died 4 times. Obviously, I I hate to be this guy. I guess I don't because I do it all the time. But I listen to wrestlers and I listen to fighters, right? And you can like listen to the story at the beginning. And I always equate to this like the Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant thing. Where Hulk Hogan's like, man, Andre weighed like 495 pounds. And then the next time he tells a story, Andre weighed like 510 pounds. And the next time he tells a story, the weight keeps going up and going up. And then at the end of it, Andre was close to 600 pounds, brother, and I picked him up and I slammed him on the ground. And then you add on to the story, if you're Hulk Hogan, that he was signing autographs. And one of the autographs he signed was for a kid that was dying. And you could smell the death around the kid. And you could be in the arena, in the Silver Dome. Or the Silver Dome. And you knew this kid was dying. And I could smell him as I pick up Andre. If you're smelling something, it's probably Andre's ass. Right? Like, they tell these stories in such a manner that there's always, it heightens up. Right? The Rock did this. It was Rock and Cena. And The Rock was like, "Oh man, I had a back issue." And the back issue went to I was dealing with back spasms during that match. And then the back spasms turned into I had a bulging disc. And then the bulging disc turned into I had a ruptured disc. And then the ruptured disc turns into I had 6 or 7 ruptured discs in my back. Tommy laughing at the Andre's ass comment. That's more than like if he's picking up Andre and he's smelling death, he's more than likely smelling Andre's ass right over here. It could just be that, especially if Andre, like we're talking about old Andre, where Andre was, hanging on to the ropes as he was walking, trying to stand up because he couldn't stand up on his own. That's the Andre the Giant we're talking about here. I hope that he didn't go through all that. Like, I'm glad that he was able to get his lung transplant. That sounds like a crazy ass surgery, a lung transplant. Also, very quick that he was able to get a lung transplant. Yeah, Andre should have had Happy Nuts back in the day. He wouldn't have had any of that duck butter. Man, this is where the show's going now, huh? I remember the stories. I can't remember who he was wrestling, but Andre would like fart, just pass gas on his opponents. And in the story, Andre farts so hard that something comes out and he winds up shitting on, sorry, Roku, he winds up shitting on his opponent. And I could only imagine what a 7'4", 500-pound man decides that there's the point that he's going to let out some stuff, what that's like. And if you've seen the pictures of like Andre the Giant holding a beer can, it looks like this shot glass in my hand because Andre was just so damn big. Like, there's some gross stories out there when it comes to Andre the Giant. Oh, I want to start looking some of them up. I think this is more of a topic for Bob, Jim, and Pat. Get drunk on the internet. Oh, I forgot to check the NFL Top 100. Let's see if we've added anybody to our list of the Top 100. Numbers 90 through 87, we went through this yesterday, was Zach Allen, James Cook, Andrew Van Ginkel, and Quinnen Williams. At number 86, you have an offensive lineman, Laramie Tunsil, who dropped a bunch of spots down to number 86. He's with the Washington Commanders. He's probably going to be great with the Washington Commanders. He did a really good job with the Houston Texans. A great offensive lineman. Number 86 seems kind of low to me, but whatever. I'm just some dude. Kyron Williams, the running back from the LA Rams, at number 85. 1,299 rushing yards, 14 tutties. Then Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback for the New England Patriots, 50 solo tackles, 11 passes defended, 1 fumble recovery, 2 interceptions, and was a second-team All-Pro. Again, I like what New England's doing. I'm a fan of the New England Patriots system that they're doing to get back to relevancy, to get back to the island of relevancy. Christian Gonzalez is going to help them out there. Laramie Tunsil, once again, seems pretty low to me. Josh Sweat, we spoke about this, seems pretty low, along with Leonard Williams and Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta, to me, is one of the more dynamic tight ends in the NFL. I'm trying to see. I guess I got to go back and figure this out. How they vote for the top 100. I'm going to have to do that another time because it's not giving me what I'm looking for here. I can watch all the Ladd McConkey highlights for his career that he's had. Tommy Cananta saying that he wanted the Dallas Cowboys to draft Christian Gonzalez a few years back. Yeah, it would have helped out. I like the Dallas Cowboys defense though, man. I know I'm in the minority here. I like what their defense has done. Like they were hurt over the last couple of years, so maybe like we added depth or something like that. I I think he should be higher on the list too. I'm going to be interested to see again who the like. I'm already disappointed in this list, right? Like we're talking about the top 100. We got to find out who the rest is going to be here. I see again Tua Tagovailoa being number 91, being like and being the 23rd best quarterback in the NFL. That means there's 22 other quarterbacks on this list in the top 100. Augustine Pimentel saying, "Hey people, how are you? Sorry, haven't been around. It's been a tough week at work. No worries, Augustine. Hope that you are doing well. Hope that you are managing with all that stuff, all the stressors at work. I was talking to someone yesterday, going through some issues, had to take a day off from work and just wanted to talk to people. Sometimes you just got to take a step back. I don't know if you're in a position to be able to do that because you have an important job, Augustine, but if you have the ability, take a step back, my friend. The job will still be there. You got to get your mental right." Augustine saying, "By the way, go vote. I bet those aren't related at all. At all." I will say this too. I'm an advocate, go vote. I don't care who you vote for as long as you're informed. Let me rephrase it. I kind of do care. Augustine saying I need to take a step back at Cattleman's. I'm with you on that one. It's been years since I've been to Cattleman's Steakhouse. For those that are watching that are not in the El Paso area, Cattleman's Steakhouse is one of the greatest steakhouses. Yes, couple of the year. Go vote for that. Yes, go vote for that. But Cattleman's Steakhouse, one of the best steakhouses in the country, I would say. I can't believe it's been that long since I can't even remember the last time I went. Tommy Cananza saying, I haven't been to Cattleman's in about 20 years. A part of it's because of the drive, right? Augustine saying, I'm going today. I got a meeting with some people from Dallas. Oh, well, thanks for the invite. Tommy and I will see you there, my guy. I'll just say, yeah, I'm here for the Pimentel meeting. The meeting with Augustine Pimentel. I can sit in the back. I don't have to talk. I can just nod my head. I can take notes. I can do those types of things. I can look and sound important. I'll be there at 5:30. Okay. Oh, I won't be able to make it. Today's Jinder's birthday, and we're going to be doing some stuff before we go to basketball practice. He's got basketball practice at 6. There's a part of me that makes me want to not take him to basketball practice, but he's got to go. Augustine saying you can't stay quiet. Hell no. So you don't want me to stay quiet? I can be quiet. You got to remember, I'm a very introverted person. I don't just interject myself into other people's conversations. But if it's at 5:30, I won't be able to make it, my guy. I apologize. There'll have to be another Cattleman's meeting. Tommy will be there, though. I would pay you to play Just the Tip in the background. I was making the joke that I need to learn how to play it on the piano and do a jazz rendition of it. And that way I can play it in restaurants. You go to those fancy restaurants, I'll get on the piano and I'll do some of the regular songs. And then as the night gets going and people are drinking more, it'll be Just the Tip. We need to find a jazzy way of doing it. Start singing it in Spanish. We got to get the different beats for it. It'll be the same song, just sung in 5 different languages. Why the hell not? It sounds much more romantic that way. Oh God, that would be great. I need to find a way to make that happen. I've got my MIDI keyboard. I'm gonna start working with it. We're gonna make a jazz rendition of Just the Tip. Maybe even get a little Spanish guitar working on so we can get this working right with Spanish. Sing it in all the fancy restaurants. It'll be an inside joke. It'll be like Old School. I don't know how many of you have watched the movie Old School, but there's a band called the Dan Band. And they're singing the Total Eclipse of the Heart, but they're dropping F-bombs here and there. And you see Will Ferrell's character and his wife, like, what are they saying? That's how Just the Tip would be in those restaurants, in the multiple languages. How about French? Juste le conseiller. I'm with it. I am with it. We're going to find a way to get this done, Augustine. I promise you, we'll find a way to get this done. I'm adding so much stuff to my plate just for shits and giggles. I'm adding stuff to my plate, but I will find a way to get that done. Oh, but back to the NFL Top 100 list. Like I said, I think it's already been kind of a disappointing list. You got guys on here that you're like, okay, that guy needs to be higher, like Josh Sweat, Sam Laporta being at 95 and 94. They're more important to their teams than some of these other things, right? Tua Tagovailoa being number 91. That's insane to me. Mainly because he had 2,800 passing yards. And again, you're going to have 22 other quarterbacks ahead of him if he's the 23rd ranked quarterback according to all of the metrics out there. Even if he's, I think the highest I've seen him was 19. Augustine saying, I heard the worst joke yesterday. How do you know? Oh, God. Really, Augustine? And I'm sure you're the one that said that. I'm sure you're the one that told that joke. Like that sounds 100% like an Augustine joke. I don't think you heard it. I think you said it. And you're just trying to pass the buck off to someone else. I'm pretty sure you know exactly what those sausages taste like. Sorry, Augustine. Sorry, Roku. Laramie Tunsil looks a little low on the list. Christian Gonzalez looks a little low on the list. It's just, I think this is the issue with a lot of these lists, right? Is like, I don't think they're ever going to get them right. It gives you something to talk about, but I don't think they're ever going to get it right. Augustine saying, I love that you couldn't keep a straight face. No, 100%. That's how I know you're the one that said that joke. You want to pass it off as someone else said it. You said that joke. I got to sneeze, but it's not coming out. And I'm looking at this list. And I'm comparing it to last year's list. And we're just going to look at the top 84 because that's where we're at right now. And last year you had Zaire Franklin, Levante David, Cam Hayward, Terry McLaurin, Deion Dawkins, Julian Love, Trevor Lawrence, Harrison Smith, Aaron Rodgers, and Tariq Woolen. That was number 100 all the way through number 91. Then from 90 to 84, you had Devontae Smith, Buda Baker, Chris Lindstrom, Hassan Reddick. How was Hassan Reddick on this list? Saquon Barkley, Tristan Wirfs, and DK Metcalf. Tommy Canasta saying if Tunsil was still a Texan, he'd be too low. But now that he's a commie, he's too high. it's all about the team that you're on, right? I like that. Anytime I see an Eagle, a Giant, or a Commander on here, maybe even a 49er, anytime I see one of them, I'm gonna be they're too high on this list. Shouldn't even be on this list. Laramie Tunsil shouldn't even be in the top 200 list. I think we can say that Saquon's going to have the largest jump out of everybody, right? Like he fell 55 spaces over to number 86, which means he was number 31 in 2023. I think he'll be in the top 10. So he's going to move up at least 76 spaces. Tommy Connaughton saying, there you go. That's the way to do it, right? We got to make sure. If you're an Eagle, a Giant, a 49er, a commie, you don't belong on this list. But even looking at this list that you have, like maybe Levante David's still on there. Cam Hayward, you can figure, is still going to be on there. Terry McLaurin's still probably going to be on there. I don't think if Trevor Lawrence makes the top 100, we've got some problems. I don't think Harrison Smith is going to be on there. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be on there as well. Like, you're going to have a lot of turnover, especially early in the top 100. Like, thinking that DK Metcalf was not ranked in 2023 is kind of wild to me. I also think having DK Metcalf at 84 seems a little high or seems a little low. I'm trying to figure out DK Metcalf. But on the top 100 list, there's going to be a ton of turnover on this. And I'm already, like I said, I'm already at the point where it's like, okay, I don't like where some of these guys are. But I guess it's not up to me, right? Like, it's however the players voted on them. I'd love to see what the voting metrics were. I'm looking at the 2023 list. I want to see who the top 100 to 84 was here. Devontae Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence, Tristan Wirfs, Harrison Smith, Trevor Lawrence again, Jamal Williams, Terry McLaurin, Eric Kendricks, Marlon Humphrey, Dalvin Cook, he ain't going to be on this list. DeAndre Hopkins, he ain't going to be on that list. Marshawn Lattimore, he ain't going to be on the list. Aiden Hutchinson, he's probably not going to be on the list. Chris Lindstrom, Justin Fields, definitely not going to be on the list. How is Justin Fields on the top 100? Laramie Tunsil at number 85. And Zadarius Smith at number 84. That was the 2023 list for the first 16 on the list. That was the 2023 list. We know Tyreek Hill isn't going to be number one anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not even on this list whenever that comes around. All right, everybody. I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's show. Remember, it's Jinder's birthday. Happy birthday to my little dude. I can't wait to see what it is we get into today at a little face whenever he gets his gifts and all that stuff. I am super excited about it. I'm feeling old as all hell, very vulnerable in my old age, but it's okay. We're making it work. I want to thank you all so much for tuning into today's show. Remember, tomorrow's the TIP VIP Friday. Augustine, I don't know if you're going to be there with me. I hope you're going to be there with me, but it's a TIP VIP Friday. I got some stuff that we're going to talk about on that show. We're going to talk about soccer, Tommy. Nothing but soccer all day long to make sure you are engaged as much as physically possible. Or you can come up with some subjects and topics to derail the soccer conversation, Tommy. It's all up to you right now. All the power is in your hands. I'm also working on a topic wheel, which is what we're going to debut on Monday. It's going to be a fun time. Fire and Ice. I don't think we're going to do a Fire and Ice this week. If I don't have Brandon, I always feel weird not doing a Fire and Ice without Brandon. So I don't think that we're going to be doing a Fire and Ice with Brandon. Tommy Canazza saying we'll see you on Monday. I get it. I totally get it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. We will see you tomorrow. TIP VIP Friday. Y'all have a good one.